Welcome, folks. Today we're lucky enough to be having a chat with Grant Johnson, co-founder and CEO at Rocketspark down in the beautiful Cambridge. They've currently got a head of partnerships and sales role available to keep growing their team. Grant, great to chat with you. At a high level, what is this person coming on to do and the problems that they're coming in to help solve?
Yeah, thanks, Greg. So our business as a website builder is designed for small businesses, and we're getting more and more graphic designers that are using the platform to design for their clients. And it's a really cool opportunity ahead of us, and we're looking at someone to come in and grow, help us grow that business. So we're doing some pretty innovative marketing things, and we're wanting someone to come in and sort of, as the connections are made, they're building up those connections. And also a key part of this role is nurturing the people that we do connect with. It's not a kind of win the sale and then thanks for the money, see you later. You know, we want someone that's really, I guess, building up programs that can really help these designers. And we've been sort of piloting some programs to do that. And it's really, how do we scale that up and do it really efficiently?
Cool. And then before we delve a little bit deeper into the role, can you give a current state of the play as to the business? You guys have had a pretty amazing journey over the last few years in particular, but can you give a snapshot as to what this person's walking into?
Yeah, so the current state of play is that this community of graphic designers is growing, and we're becoming much more intentional about how we support them and grow them, and sort of had some pretty innovative marketing activities going on. And so that side is exciting, and also where we're at as a platform. It's pretty cool in terms of where we've developed and we've self-funded Rocketspark, so it's sort of early days have been slow, but as the cash flows build, we're able to accelerate it. We're in the process of hiring another developer, just hired a marketing manager, and in terms of kind of while the economy is kind of slower at the moment, in terms of, and there's small businesses, there's a lot of contraction and slowdown, we're actually still growing, so we're kind of getting our fair share of the market that's there. And I guess because we're self-funded, we sort of haven't been at the mercy of sort of some of the constraints that are happening right now in terms of capital. So we're in a profitable position and looking to grow and build on what we're at. And probably the other thing is just as the platform's grown and built, it's just a really cool tool. Like not like a one-size-all piece of software that everyone uses in the same way, everyone fills in the same form. It's so creative and innovative that everyone's using it in different ways. And as the platform improves, we do a Site of the Month award for our designers, and this month it hasn't actually yet been announced out to the designers, but we actually had two, just because the standards were so good and the quality of what they're producing, and our design team, they were so excited that that they could just see as we've improved the platform that the quality of what people are producing has improved as well.
That's super cool. Yeah, it sounds like you've got a really passionate community of designers, and that relationship with those design community seems to be really strong. If the key experience or traits of the ideal person at a high level, what are some of those?
Yeah, probably that they can make connections with people and gain deep insight. What is motivating people to use Rocketspark as their platform? What are the connections? How are we growing? What's working from a marketing side? And really understand that, and then sort of build out the programs in quite a methodical way. We've been testing lots of things and starting to see some real green shoot here in terms of things that will help us grow. And we're looking for someone that can help with that structure to come alongside, but also not losing sight of how we come alongside these designers and help them in their businesses. Is what are the programs from what we've piloted? Like we've created an academy, and coaching programs. What are the best bits of that we can really sort of lean into and help these designers grow, and that they're benefiting and we're benefiting in that process. So, yeah.
And then is I suppose some SaaS sales experience in the past helpful? What are some of the other key bits of experience that you would love to see? And then the other part to that is you guys are based down in Cambridge, so the preference towards someone being in the region but also open to remote, is that correct?
Yeah, so in terms of SaaS sales experience, I think would be valuable in terms of looking at how you create scalable programs, and particularly in small business, like where the lead times for people making decisions is generally quite short. The average value per partner, as they bring on, can actually be really large, but the initial sort of revenue that they generate is small, but as their business and sort of their client base builds. In terms of the remote question, we're very collaborative in terms of how we work, and this role is really central to shaping the product that we develop, shaping our customer success programs. And there's a richness when people are based together and can connect. But in saying that, we're really comfortable with, for the right person, remote working. So we have remote team as well. So Kendall, our marketing manager, is based in Raglan, travels over a couple of days a week to be in the team and kind of have that richness of the office. Have Harvey, developer, Sam in Christchurch. So we're kind of familiar with working. So for the right person, it's really what works. Really, it's kind of more about the person and fit for the role.
Cool. And then building those long-term relationships with your customers and partners seems to be really important. Why is that really important for you versus a classic salesperson that's just out there to hit numbers and move on?
Yeah, I think in the market we're in, it is pretty competitive, and I guess is actually not losing sight of that human element, that actually helping people in their business, and then the loyalty that comes from that is actually really important. So, and then there's a richness that comes from those relationships. So the insights that we get, that we really feel like our design partners, the graphic designers, are helping us shape the product. So that comes through sometimes it's almost bordering on love, the care that they have for us as a business, that comes through. And so I think the ability to sort of foster relationships and value those relationships, and I guess also build a team, that the goal is that this person coming in is kind of learning and shaping the role in terms of the sales structure, but also building out a team that might bring in expertise around sort of coaching and training. And so it's looking at that longer term roadmap around building up the role, so that we're sort of, as we grow, we don't lose sight of the things that were important to our growth right from day one, of just genuinely after people.
Cool. And then on the flip side to that, like who wouldn't suit this particular role or the environment that you've created?
Yeah, probably the flip side is just that hardcore driven, got the sales, what's the number, hit the number at all. It's kind of, we're not that type of business. Probably also someone that probably and doesn't have experience in probably for someone that has a really adjacent industry experience. But I think we're really, and with this role, looking for someone that can hit the ground running. That's kind of, so the experience probably in software sales is pretty key. And yeah, those are probably two key aspects in terms of where the role's probably not suited.
Cool. And then if I was to bump into one of your team members at a pub and ask them what you're like to work for, Grant, how do you think that they'd describe you, and how would you like them to describe you?
I've just actually been doing some skip level one-to-ones. So I was actually at the SaaStr conference in London. I think it was back in May or June, and I heard a CEO founder talk, and she was talking about doing skip level one-to-ones. And I was like, actually, that's a brilliant idea. And so I've been doing that and asked the team that question, how would you describe our culture? And the number one theme that came through was caring, that we actually genuinely care about them as people, as a team, that we genuinely care about the end customer that's actually using our software, and we genuinely care about the graphic design partners that are using the software. So that was, for me as a founder and as a leader in the team, just to hear that there was that caring culture, and family actually was number two. So I guess there's an element of it with my brother, Jeremy, and two of his friends. So that's probably, I guess, an ethos that's flowed through Rocketspark.
Yeah, that's cool to hear. And then finally, why is now for you such an interesting time to be joining the journey, particularly for this role?
Yeah, it's a particularly exciting time in that we're starting to see these green shoots of opportunity and growth. So we're just starting to crack the marketing formula. It's, as a bootstrap business, we haven't had millions of funding coming in that we could throw and test lots of marketing ideas. So it's been fairly organic and fairly slow. And a lot of our businesses come from word of mouth referral. But as we start to put the foot down, and we've been testing these brunches, like these localized meetups with designers, and they're working really well. We're making amazing connections. So that's working. Our content programs, in terms of generating connections, we're starting to make some good progress there. So that side's exciting in terms of, it's not like you're starting a sales role and have nothing to work with. There's a great foundation. And probably the other aspect is where the platform's got to. So just as I described before about designers, that what they're creating with the platform is just next level from what it was 6 months or a year ago. And to be totally transparent too, this role is replacing, it's a team member that's been with us 4 years. So Jason has been in that role as head of partnerships, and he actually describes him, and connect on LinkedIn with him and check this out. But he said it's the best job he's ever had. So in 4 years, he's been in that role, and he's now going to be, to actually join and sort of start up their in a web business. So he's kind of leaping over to the other side of the fence. So it's kind of nice that it's the best job he's ever had. He's created a great framework, and some brilliant foundations that someone can sort of pick up the baton and go with it, but know they're kind of not stepping into a dud role that someone's miserable and sort of leaving, and what's the deal here? It's a miserable place to work. So it's pretty good.
Outstanding. Well, it certainly sounds like there's a great foundation for someone to come and work from, as well as a really exciting time to be joining the business. So I appreciate taking the time to share some candid thoughts, Grant. And for anyone that is curious, obviously you've got the space open for people to ask you some questions up front.
Yeah, we're pretty transparent with how we roll, so we're happy to answer questions, and nothing worse than square pegs and round holes. So really happy to for people to ask good questions and get the real deal. So thanks for catching up and asking good questions.